Coming straight out of Ecamm. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. It's a jam with the Ecamm fam. This is a jam with the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam.
Hold it, stop the music.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Can I please have your attention?
Now showtime. Are you ready? Are you ready for start time?
Let's find out. Ready, let's go.
What it do, Ecamm fam? What it do? I'd like to welcome all of y'all here to the Ecamm Live demo. Today we're going to be talking about the old Ecamm Live and showing you all the myriad things that we have available. And I'm just going to walk you through everything. If you have questions, make sure you drop a Q colon in front. That helps us see your questions and it'll make total sense at some point in time, like why we do that. I know people are like, why do you ask that question? You'll see. It'll make sense. You'll fully understand once you see it. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So it's a thing. It's kind of important. Just do it. It'll make your life so much better. You'll understand. So yeah, drop a Q colon. It's just good business, as they used to say. You know, it's just good business. So we'll get you set up. We'll answer your questions. If you're new around here, first time seeing the demo, let us know. I will give you a little bit of priority on the questions, just due to the fact the majority of people that watch this demo have seen it 100 times. I'm not even joking. I'm not joking 100 times. I mean legit seen it 100 times. I've been doing this for February of 21 every Friday. So yeah, they've seen it. All right, let's go. Let's go. What it do, India? What's crack-a-lackin'? Let's get in here now. I do want to show you guys something before we get all the way twisted. I want to show you something just because it's freaking kind of cool. So I press this button. You guys can't see, but I'm going to just press this button here. And it's why you put on 2 dots. Don't worry, beef curry. I got you. All right. So, of course, it wants to be upside down. I went and ordered a new pair of my classic IEMs that I wear every week when we do the demo. These were the KZN versions. So, KZN Pros. There's, 5,100 versions of the same thing. But one of the things that I got to tell you about this new ones that was a nice uffy grade is they added a little, it's hard to see there. Let me bring in something white. There you go. They added a tiny little rubber piece right here so that it sticks in your ear better. See that right there? There's a cool little rubber piece. Everything else is the same. Sound is the same. Actually, I kept my old cable because the old cable was nice. But yeah, these are dope. And $20. So I will add them to my IEM link that's in my doohickey, and it'll make all the more sense. But they're way more comfortable with just the addition of that little rubber nugget. So you should already have like 3-4 pairs of these on hand anyway. So just in case one dies, you got the next one ready to go. But these are incredible. These are absolutely incredible. Anyway, so let's pop into demo mode. Shkang. Hey, what's happening? Here's live demo mode. This is what you see when you first pop up Ecamm. Now, your layout might look totally different from mine. But you just have to line your stuff up. I'm weird. I like my stuff super tight, super crispy. So everything is set up in a manner that my windows basically all line up. I'm weird. It's a Virgo thing. Anyway, so let's walk you through this. This is the scene window, my overlay window, the master window. Sometimes I call it the main stage. Sometimes I call it the program window because that's technically what it is. I like to use main stage. It reminds me of strip clubs. This is your camera effects window. Down here is your interview window. I have my comments and reactions, sound effects, and sound levels. Okay, so if we're going to build ourselves a little showgram, let's show you how we do that here. I'm going to start down here in the bottom of the scene window. I'm going to create a new empty scene. Now, my new empty scene comes with a fancy swanky background because I have these fancy swanky backgrounds turned on. If you notice over here in the overlay panel, it says show in the background. And then so you can put in myriad backgrounds. You probably should rename them from whatever the heck they were named when you downloaded it. Make your job easier. But this is the one I'm feeling right now. So this right now is just a blue smidge, but it could also be a video. If I had a decent video background, which I'll go snatch one real quick. If I had a decent video background, then I could put that back there as well. So let's build something real quick so you can see me snatch the one I'm going to snatch. First thing I'm going to do is pop over here and add a camera. Now, a quick reminder, when you see certain things in your setup that don't look like mine, it's because I'm using Ecamm Live 4.0 beta, right? At this point in time, you should just use the beta. I mean, seriously, like, what are we, like a week and a half, not even, we're like a week away from the launch. So just use the beta. Stop tripping. Anyway, so the next thing I'm going to do is press on down here is the new screen share. Pop that, baby. Put it up here, embiggen it to taste. And then I'm going to just press this little doohickey here and say, let's go to Chrome A. Boom. Juggly Chrome. All right. I'm going to change this from wide 16:9 to custom so that I can prettify this just a smidgen. There you go. These are the droids you're looking for. All right. There you go. There we go. Boom. You can just also get it ecamm.com/beta. Either one of those tricks works. Bam. Let's see what we are cooking with here. I'm in footage. Ooh, this is fancy. This is fancy. That's a little busy, but I like that. Wobbly, 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 wop. Oh, you guys know they just freshed out with my colors, so we're gravy. I'm gonna just peek through this. Ooh, hey Mary, what your name is? This is cool. Oh, you guys are gonna be mad high if I put that up there. All right, I'm starting to get 80s flashbacks. Ooh, martini glasses that float. So this is the drama of going in and finding something cool like this is you can get lost in the sauce a little bit, right? It can be a little busy. Actually, I would probably take one of these that I like and then go into like Final Cut or something and throw a black layer on it and just dumb it down a little bit so it's less bright. But as you can see, you got good options in here. You can find something cool. So we're just going to start with the first one. I like this one. So I'm going to just hit download real quick. And you can go ahead and download this in like a low res. You don't want to grab a snatchy one unless you have, baller machine, right? This one's not too bad. It's 124 megabytes. So yeah, it's downloaded real quick. And then you'll see I'm gonna drop it in and we'll have us a subsequent movie film as a background. So your background can be motion. It doesn't have to be static if you do not wish. Now, if you're paying close attention as I did this, you saw that I added a camera, I added a screen share overlay, and literally in a matter of seconds, I made the show better than what most people do. Right? It's just real simple to do. It's not none of this stuff is difficult. So let's do ourselves a flavor, and we want to add an additional person to talk to me about this particular setup. So if I hold down the option key, I can grab this first camera image here and just turn it straight down, and then now we're good. Now we're good. It's that simple. And please do stop hiding my Chrome windows when I do that. All right, so there I added my additional. I'll press on that, and I'll change this to a guest. In this case, my guest is going to be my Insta360 link, in which case I'm going to set the rotate and say apply to all scenes, so that way it stops messing with me. I can also, something that's only in 4.0, not in your regular version, I can select in here and say that I want my Insta360 link to be camera B. And then as camera B, I can lock that rotate. And then now, as long as I'm selecting camera B, I don't have that problem. You know what I'm saying? It'll always be stuck that way. We don't, no. Bianca's brand new. I can tell because she brought up the G word in my show. Bianca, I'll tell you the honest to God truth, and my community knows this about me. I hate green screen with a passion. Why? Because I come from the broadcast industry and I know how to do it correctly. And I know that when it's done correctly, it's flawless. When it's done bad, actually, it's not even bad. You can do green screen at 80% and it looks horrible. You either have to do it 100% good or don't touch it. And so, yeah, I'm super anti green screen. So no, there's not over a green screen. If you do it correctly, the key is so clean. There's no green halo. Even people with flowy, gorgeous hair or glasses, you don't see any effects of the green screen when it's done correctly. Most of the people doing it today do it absolutely wrong, and it makes your whole thing look horrible. But if you know how to do it correctly, ooh, it's gorgeous. Anyway, so yes, no, that's not that. Not that at all. And hey, Bianca, welcome to the show, Graham. All right, so let me show you what we do here. I am going to take that background that I just downloaded from the interwebs, and all I'm going to do is just pick it up and drag it, okay? So in theory, let me not drag that yet. In theory, over here on the side, we have the ability to press in animated file, right? So this first one is just an image. The second one is an animated file. This is a screen share, text overlay, widget overlay, or countdown overlay, sorry. Widget overlay next to that, and then a camera overlay here. This is just a folder to keep your stuff purdy, right? But we're Mac people. We don't have to press those buttons. You just drag and drop, right? So the main thing to note in this particular area for this overlay is rather than put it in the current scene, which is a possibility, I'm going to put it in show in all backgrounds. And that'll make sense in a second. So let me go and grab another background. Let's say I wanted to put this rainbow background here. If I only want the rainbow background to rock in this particular scene, I can put it in show in the current scene. When I dip, it looks dope, right? Now, let's just say in supposition, let's call this host guest SS screen share. Okay, so now I'm going to duplicate this by pressing the doubles in the bottom down here. See the double? That's a duplicate. And in this one, I'm going to do G1, G2, SS. So that's my guest 1, guest 2 screen share. So in this particular case, I'm going to 86 myself. May not belong here. Press that. Change this to guest 1, right? Then I'm going to change this to guest 2. because maybe I'm remote production or something of that nature. And then over here on the screen share, we'll put the main art list thing back on the front, right? So you can be here, you can be here. Now, in this particular case, I wanted to have a different color background. So for instance, I could pick this piece up, and what's happening here is I have one background for one scene and a different background for a different scene, right? And then I could go to my third scene and have yet a third background. This background here, if you notice what's popping in the windows, there's no background in the current scene. This is pulling from the master background area. But on these guys, I added specificity to the background. So let's change the confusion by deleting that one. And then on this guy, so I have this color, right? So the advantage of doing it this way is I can still highlight certain areas of my show with the background, but then I can keep the master background over here, which is pulling from here. So as long as it's the last file in the stack, you're gravy. All right, now back to what we was doing here. Let me go ahead and grab the movie film that we picked up, and I'm going to drop this here in the show in all background. And in this particular case, now I have that as my background. You did it right when you go to create a new scene and you get this. Right, the loop is not clean though. I just realized that loop has a jump to it. So I don't know if I would actually use this, but for demonstration purposes, we're going to, see that? For demonstration purposes, we fixing to ignore that. All right, so let me investigate you guys over here in the chatty chat, see if anything else is going on. Glenda, that wasn't a campfire. That was a Yule Noel, and Noel's over. For everybody except Todd. Todd is the only person that Noel's 365 time, or whatever the word I was looking for. 365. Yeah. I don't even know if Todd showed up yet. Did Todd show up? There he is. See, I knew it. There he is. Christmas Clutter is in the building. What's happening, Todd? Appreciate you, bro. All right. How do you zoom in again to Pacific? See, I live in Hawaii. How do you zoom in again to specific parts of your screen for us to really see what you mean? Like this. Or hold down the control key, take your finger, take your scroll wheel, and go. Like that. That's Mac OS 101. Like it really though. Just control scroll. But what I did, in addition to it's Mac OS. Basically, you come down here to accessibility, and then you click on zoom, and then you use keyboard shortcuts to zoom. You know what I'm saying? And then you can do plus minus. So, if you go like that and go tap, 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 or tap, 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 tap. Yeah, anyway. That's Mac OS stuff. That's nothing to do with Ecamm. You know what I'm saying. Nah, Canva is so 2022. Collie's going to slap me. I use Artlist. Canva is so Canva. I love Canva. I absolutely do. But so does everybody else. And so you can't, that's hard to say. It's like Gap. Gap is cool, but everybody loves Gap. So when you step out, people go, huh, Gap. Canva is, when you make Canva graphics, everybody goes, huh, Canva. So, just try to mix it up. You know me. I don't like to swim in the same pool with everybody else. The water's dirty. I love you, sis. Okay, let's get at it. Hey, stop scrolling wheels really fast. All right, so let me close these two again and then put back on my master camera. See, there you go. You can do it with the Wacom pen. you can do it totally with the Wacom pen. Dude, I miss my Intios. When I started doing this, I got rid of it because of the desk space, but I really miss it. So I might have to go back and get one. And I keep trying to convince myself not to buy a Cintiq. But it seems like the Cintiq models that they make for PC are better than the Cintiq models that they make for macOS. But yeah, now that macOS is, we have, M1, M2. Come on. Wacom. And people, please don't call it Wacom. It's Wacom. Wa as in harmony. Wa, or as in Japanese, wa. Anyway. とにかくそのデモのことがいきましょう。So, 後では次の新しいのシーンボタンを押したらこのボタンを押す。後ではカメラボタンを押したらボーム。でこのイメージが形が違うからそしてワイド60x9テレビみたい。後ではクラシックは古いのテレビ、like お母さんのテレビ。後ではスクエアの形がある。で、後ではサークルの形がある。で、後ではスクエアクルはサークルとスクエアが一緒に子供みたいでしょ。It's a circle, squircle. で、後でいるトールが iPhone の形。そして iPhone と Android の携帯の形があるけど、後でカスタムはエイジでサイズも乗り換えしたら何でもいいできましょう。OK で OK. Oh yeah, wait. I forgot. Wrong demo. Anyway, so yes, you can pick any size in custom, but I'll tell you, if you look at Ecamm streams, it feels like everybody only uses wide and squircle. Like it used to be everybody would use wide and circle, but now I feel like everybody uses wide and squircle. But you can make the adjustments to any one of these cats you want. You can pick any size. I like custom because it gives you a little bit more. Okay, let's just say this is your standard wide. Let me pop this to wide. Oh, you want me to switch to, Korean next? I can do that too. Let's leave that on that. Let's switch this bad boy to wide. So let's say you're in wide mode. And for whatever reason, you didn't clean your room, right? All you got to do is switch this bad boy to custom, right? Come down here, hit the custom, and then just pull the little edge off. So now all you see is myself and the TV back there, which is doing something. I don't know what it's doing. And then you got my little ficus. I call it the effing ficus. And then from there, you can do adjustments, right? So, you can kind of pick your crop however you need. So I kind of like this option the best. But anyway, for this particular next portion, we're going to jump on to, I always press the wrong one every time. It never fails. I'm going to jump on the squircles. So now I'm going to show you a couple of things while we're in here in the squircle mode. Again, I showed you how I can just, hold the option key and drag. That's not really an Ecamm thing. That's macOS all day, every day, right? But if I click on the actual overlay itself and do, hold on. Let me give you something. Let me show you something. Blood clot, me told you, camera B, rotate you not, Me say keep it to all it sees, Rotate him there. All right, let me go change it right there. All right, so if I highlight this bad boy and hit Command C and then hit Command V, it's actually made a copy of it, right? And so if I hit Command V again, it made another copy of it. You know what I'm saying? So if I get rid of that and then I just hit Command V again, I could even go to a whole different scene and hit Command V again. So what's really cool about this method, the copy and paste method, is if you are trying to put an element in various portions of a scene and you want them to stay in position, that's them, right? So I could put this element in a scene and I want to go to another scene and make sure the element lands in the exact same spot. Copy paste is your friend because, That way it lands exactly where you don't have to readjust anything else. All right, so stay. Let's go. I mean, sorry. Anyway, let's go and let's paste one of these here. I'm gonna pop this up. One other thing you'll notice as I'm dragging these around, there's these little blue lines. I'm pointing to the screen like you can see me pointing to the screen. These little blue lines, those will help you know that you got things lined up. All right. So in this particular joint, I'm gonna go over here and change this to guess one. Now I am set. So the next thing we are going to do is press down here in the old Ecamm sectional, like it's a couch. Hey. Oh, I know what I did. I went there and then jump out. See, mess around with India, change my settings. I pressed this text box and the text box popped up. It just popped up on another screen. So let me cancel that and then now I'll hit it. Boom, there's my text box. So let's go ahead and say who he is. Bam. All right. Now notice this. I like to come in here and embiggen one piece of it. And then I like to come in here and less embiggen this piece, right? Just give it a little flavor. You'll see I have the ability to adjust my background color. And my crayons, again, jumped on the wrong monitor. So let's pretend. Hit this again. Boom. Crayons pop up. And from these crayon sets, right, you can go in and you can select. This is what you're going to see. You know, just all of these bad boys. I like to come in and I have, you know, palettes that I have built accordingly for various oriented things. On this machine, I'm missing 2 more palettes, but I'll fix that later. So anyway, I can come in and pick whichever palette I want. And then in this case, on the background, I'm going to go with the old dark purps. I got purps. And then on this one is for my border color. So I can pick different color borders if I will. Right? If you will. What's up, Dave? Dave is in the building. All right, so we can rock like that. All right, and then I want this one maybe to be like that. There you go. Now we're cooking with Pam. Right, and I'll pick this one. All right, cool. So we're just going to add that. Zoom. Now, that is massive. But what I'm going to do is do it like that. Get it out to about the size that I want it, and then pop it in the middle. You'll see the little blue line comes in. I like to dissect the bottom line. It's just totally a design thing. I like to dissect the line like such. Okay. Hey, it's a good question, Bianca. Let me give Bianca's question. It's standard macOS color picker, so everything is everything. Everything is the same. So if you press this guy, hit the second choice, hex and effects. All I gotta do is zoom, shake it up. So yeah, it's on the second one. This is not an Ecamm thing. This is standard macOS color picker, and I swear to you, I wish more people would study the magic and the dopeness that is a color picker. But most people have no clue. So what I mean by that, let me show you. If I pop over here to my Ecamm assets, I have made a point of having this little graphic right here. This is actually the real deal Holyfield Ecamm palette, right? So if I'm setting up a show, I just pull my palette and drop it onto the screen real quick. And then I come over here to the color picker, and you see this right here? Let me delete the white. You can actually come in here and, hey, now you're being mean. Oh, I know why, because I have a dialog box open. That's just messed it up. All right, let me do this again. Color picker works better when you're not doing anything. But if I come over here, you can, pick on these various colors. You can actually grab this tray and make it bigger. You can grab this line right here and increase the size of the tray. So, you have lots of space, right? So anyway, I'm going to come here and I'm going to pick on my color picker and take this first color blue, pick it up and just drop it in my chain, right? And then take the color picker, pick the second color blue and drag it into the chain. Oh, I actually did already. All right, then I come in here and pick like this color purple, drag it into the chain. So you can keep all of your stuff so you don't have to sit here and fight every time you need your colors. You just set them up and put them in the well. I actually take it a step further. I click on the third one and then click on this doubly dots right here and say make a brand new one, right? And so in this unnamed color picker, I can, pick the color that I want and then add it to the list. And then pick the next color and then add it to the list, right? And then I'll pick that's the same one. Hello, pick that one, add it to the list, right? And just do this all the way through until you got all of them added to the list. These are a couple that I gotta have because, Ecamm, right? And then once you go in here, you can name them whatever you want, right? And then this overarching list, you can rename this. Bam. And then, so now I'm good to go. Like, I don't have to struggle every time I build my show to go find my colors, right? Since we're in here, and since Bianca didn't ask, I'm going to do it anyway. You'll notice, B, that I've also done the same thing with my fonts, right? I've created collections so that, here, let me minus this one. So I don't have to, man, my deleting stuff is not working today, but I'm going to ignore this. Okay, so now I'm going to use this particular list. I'll go to like a recently used fonts, and I'll take Avener Next. I'll drop it onto India. I'll take Avener Next Medium, dropping it there. I'll take Mont Bold, boom. I need Menlo Bold for my clock, boom. I need this book font, boom. Drop it in here. I'm going to take, let me scroll down here. Let's get a Montserrat Biggin. And, I love this font right here, right? So I can pick that bad boy up and then just drop it into the India section, right? Take the light version, drop it in there. So now when I'm building the show, and I don't have to go hunt down my fonts, they're in the spot, right? And if you do yourself a flavor and throw in the undersmidgen over here, it moves it higher in the food chain. So every time when I dip, right, when it comes time to build the show, I can get rid of my graphic now, and I go to add a text, bam, I know that I want to use this font. I'm already in the India font. I don't have to look for stuff. Bam. Gangster. Like, why people be fighting themselves, I don't know. I have no idea. Sorry, India El Gato. You know what it is? It's that bootleg Puerto Rican stream deck. So, yes, guess one is a variable. When you assign a camera to guess one, that will be in all overlays as guess one. Guess one is absolutely a variable. That's the reason why you do it. So when somebody calls in, the option over here in the interview window is to assign them to a number. And people don't do that, and they be messing themselves up and then going in the Facebook thing and swearing and cursing us out because they didn't pay attention. Listen, you take the guess when they come in and you assign the guess. So to take it one step further, Chocolate Twisty Yoga Lady, in the flow, I am permanently set up as guest 2. Katie is permanently set up as guest 1, right? If India or you or somebody's the guest, they're permanently set up as guest 3, right? All of us call Luis. So the minute Luis answers Katie, she goes straight into the slot she's supposed to be in because the show is built. You know what I mean? When I call him, boom, I go straight into my spaces. He doesn't have to go at us every single show. It immediately knows who he is because that show is set up, it's saved in the profile. It just be knowing stuff like that. So if a nondescript person comes in, you assign them to an additional guest. And that way, the other reason why you want to do that is if the guest drops out. So if you watch the recording of the flow last Tuesday, in the middle, Amesbury Internet was like, nah, Katie, we ain't nobody got time for that. And then Katie just disappeared. All Luis had to do is switch to the single screen of me. I can continue to do my explanation. And then once Katie calls back in, she instantly fills back in the spot to whence she had came. And it's just gravy. It is the move. It is the move. That's that good India lighting. Yo, I seen your mic wrap, girl. That thing is sick. That is kind of brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, so we went down here. We was building our scenes, right? So this is our screen share. Let me go back to this one where we're here. So we're building this. We added another guest. What I like to do when I'm doing the guest, and I guess this happened and I didn't really explain it. So let me explain it. If I take this one off and let me delete it. If I grab this guy and just move it over to here, I like to do that so that you can keep the sizes the same. Then you go in here and you pull the edit, right? Yes, I always do that. I type it in the middle of the typing because sometimes the font will change and it just gets goofball, right? And then so I like to do this. All right, so bam, you hit that. That's how you build your guests, and then it's good to go. And so again, if India was to call in, I assign her to guest one. I don't have to play those games, right? Everything is everything. Now, here's another thing that's cool. I talked to you guys earlier about having this little folder. So if I press this folder action right here and then dip back out, I'm gonna come over here and give it the. I can take India's name and pop it in there, take India's camera, make sure it goes under the name, and then now I can link those two together. So what does that do for me? I'm gonna type this and I'm gonna be like ID, right? Actually, I would just keep it official. She gonna slap me. Anyway, so now I lock those two together. So if I was to grab this piece and move it around, it carries. Unfortunately, they don't scale together. So if I grab that, the scale is, you got to scale them individually, right? But it's still very helpful that you can lock elements together to where they go. You know what I mean? It just makes the whole party a little bit easier. Okay, now let's take ourselves one step further. I want to take this particular graphic here. Actually, I'm going to take this particular graphic and delete it. I'm going to come back down to chair and click on the old clock. So on this clock, we can go for a stopwatch, right? If we were doing a trivia type situation where we have to like solve a puzzle or something, I got a stopwatch, I can keep these things on, right? So there's one of the options. I can change this to a general clock so that you can know, right? Super simple. And then I could click on countdown to a date and time. So let's do this 26, and we're going to go 8 a.m. Actually, for me, it's more like 3 a.m., to be honest. Oi, why he do that there? Countdown 16. How you dumb? 26. All right, so we got basically 5 days, 17 hours, 20 minutes, and 55 seconds until 4.0 drops. So I can do that. I can do this, countdown to a specific time every day, and then I can do countdown to an amount of time. So, for instance, if I do countdown to a specific time every day, I want to set this one to 10, fitting, and then I could boom, pop this. This tells me I got 35 minutes until I got to do the next demo. Now, Paul is going to let me know, but all I really need to do is shrink this bad boy, throw it up here in the center like such, and then in this area on the side over here, I'll pick it up and put it in show in all scenes. Now I can keep track of I can keep track of when I have to start the next demo. Now, I can also hide my controls so they're out of my way while I'm designing things. You know what I'm saying? All right. You know what? That movie's starting to get on my nerves. I'm over it. I don't do that stuff. People like to do that stuff because they think it's cute. It ain't cute. So I just turned it off. Anyway, Miss Colley said, how do you allow guests to see each other in the various scenes once the call-in show starts? Preferences. I thought you did a whole video on all these preferences. It is legit right here. Interview, guest view, broadcast. Nobody wants to see you the whole time. Host camera, right? Host camera, they just staring at you. Broadcast, do you see what I see? So, and just leave it on broadcast, people. Nobody wants to see you the whole time. Plus, if you're in that mode and you switch a scene where they're talking by themselves, okay? So, like, let's say I'm over here and I got this host view. Let me move this preference, right? And then I duplicate this bad boy, and then I'll put India here because India is going to be talking about whatever she's talking about. And then, so on this particular view, I'm going to switch this to guest one. So we know guest one is India in this particular case. And then I might want to go over here, click on her name, copy it, come back over here, paste her it, and then pop her right here in the center like such. On this particular feed, I might center it like that, and then put it back. Okay, so India's doing the thing. She's talking by herself. If I have the preference set to host camera, right, and then I come over here and like this is me, I'm thinking, oh, I'm in the stream. Can't nobody see me because, you know, India's talking. I'm like, everybody, and then the person can see you. So, like, don't do that. Just set it for broadcast and leave it. Don't nobody want to see you scratching your face or digging your nose or all up in your ear. Or maybe you got to, like, adjust, you know, the family. You got to adjust the wedding vegetables or whatever in between the show. When you put that person on so your audience don't see it and you making, like, arrangements, you know, you're arranging flowers, nobody need to see that. So just put it on broadcast. No, that's not a fixed width font. Fixed width fonts are just for the clock, but maybe on the clock I accidentally did it. Avatar Next is not really a fixed width font, but it's close. So, yeah, what Dave's talking about is when you do your clock, you want a font that doesn't, you know, switch in and out, right? If I switch to this one, it bounces. See how the text is bouncing down here? Like the box is rechanging size. But if I click on Menlo, the font doesn't change. Avatar Next isn't officially a fixed width font, but it's pretty close. The M spaces are very, very tight. So yeah, it turns out Avatar Next is a good font choice for clocks. Boom. There you go. Boom. I know you meant the clock, homie. I know you meant the clock. All right, so we did these. We did this, and oh, let me re-talk about the animation thing again. So let's come down to Chia, and actually, let's take this one, and oh no, you know what? We just build a brand Nubian. So we're gonna come to the main, right, and then I'm gonna hit a brand Nubian. Bam. So I'm gonna add a camera. Whoop. There you go. That's me. Then we're gonna drag and put in, I always press the wrong one. It never fails. Jesus criminy. All right, so we're going to throw the camera over here like such. So, animations. You got animated GIF. Boom, like such. That's one type of animation to which you can add. You can add animated overlays like such. Let me show you. This right here in the bottom, it says LCS move. If I go to drop this in here, I get a warning. Would you like to add an animated overlay? Animated overlays don't make no noise. Yeah, gotcha, player. Go ahead and hit that. Boom. It's an animated overlay. I got my transparency working, right? So that's not going to work. Let me shrink it for a second. So the transparency completely works, as you can see. But him don't make no noise there, right? So let's take that movie film and say, beat it, squirrel. If I grab the exact same thing as a WebM, you notice the last extension is WEBM, WebM, and drop it in here like such. Now I get the noise, right? WebM can do transparency and noise. As long as you add your stuff as WebMs, you'll get the noise. I have a whole video to explain it. It's not complicated. back to Vegas, but it does make a difference. So if you use a WebM, you can get it where you have everything you want, right? So for instance, I have this bad boy and it's up here. And then I just put that on the key on the Stream Deck, you know what I mean? And then that way, whenever I need it, I can just, you know what I mean? Good to go. Gravy. Super dope. Gangster. Can you add a live clock to your live stream? I swear I just did that. Here, look, watch. Dun 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 dun. Clock. Gangster. Done. Super simple. Easy again. Click the clock widget. It's literally called the clock widget. Just click it, change it to clock, and design that baby as pretty as you wish. So come over here, put this in the background, need to be darker, and then take off the border. If you don't want a border, change the font. If you don't want a font, let's go a little bit skinnier, and then take out some of that margin so you can get it nice and chilly Willy the Penguin, and then shrink it to about right here. Bam, gangster. Easy peasy, cover greasy. Ooh, nah, that is made in Final Cut Pro. You can absolutely make them in Keynote. Fun fact, fun piece of history. First ever Ecamm tutorial I made was how to make animated overlays in Keynote. And then I was like, why am I teaching people this noise when I could just teach them what I really know is Final Cut, and Final Cut is way better. So I just created them in Final Cut. Much more clean and much more control, much more cool school that you can do. It's super simple. But all you got to do is in Keynote, save them as a 4444 file, right? Which means Apple ProRes 4444. The last 4 is the transparency. But the Keynote way, you're not going to get any sound. So the cool part about the Final Cut way is you can add sound. I said it. I think I said it. There you go. Boom. And yes, you need to convert them to WebM. There's a couple different ways to convert them online. I don't trust the online versions just because it's free. And if it's free, it means they're stealing your info. So I showed this the other day. I was showing people that people always ask about adding a movie file to your show. And by all means, you can add a movie to your show. But the common question comes up as doing it something like this and then popping over to the old, YouTube videos, and then let's go Ecamm Live, and then let's come over here and press on Yo Adrian. Boom.
Hi there, I'm Adrian Salisbury, and in a few weeks, I'm going to be running a 5-day challenge right here in the Ecamm
Okay, me personally,
community, and I'd love you to.
I'm never doing it this way because you're streaming and you're already waxing your internet, like you're beating your internet's butt. I don't think playing a video like this is the way to go. I think you should download that sucker, spend the time, do your homework, download that sucker, and then play the video by dropping it in. Now, this does require an extra step on your behalf, but it will make your stream function better because you're not going to wax your machine. Especially people who out here thinking they're cute, streaming in like the 2015 Core i5. Looking at you, Todd. You can take a video file and using that same WebM conversion, convert it to a WebM file, and then know if I drop it in Chia.
Hey everyone, it's Shelly from Shelly Saves the Day. I want to send some special love out to my Ecamm.
So I got the same thing. I got control. It's not in the YouTube interface, uglying up my screen, right? I could just come in here, put it on, select Shelly like however I want to place her, wherever I want to place her, And I got the audio, I got the good quality video, and I am not taxing my internet attempting to play a video in my showgram. I just don't know why people do that, but they hard-headed, they don't listen to me. So there's that. La la la. Same thing. It's it's always four. It's nothing to do with Final Cut. It's nothing to do with Keynote. If you want to make a transparent video in CapCut, you have to be able to export at Apple ProRes 4444. I don't even know if CapCut supports that. Haven't thought about it, but let me see. I'm curious now. Y'all made me ask. You asked me a question, Thomas. I got to find out now. I don't know if CapCut knows how to export in Apple ProRes 4444. It's worth a look, though. This is not going to work because there's no transparency here, but let me see if I were to come over here and hit export. My options are 1080. Okay, I can do 4K. Kodak H.264. Apple ProRes 4444. You can do it with CapCut, people. Oh, shucky darn. Me not know about that, we. All right, so let me just change this back to 1080 for a second. And then I'm going to say export. And let's see if it remembers. Because it can't find the video. Okay, so let me take this video and delete it. Oh, you bugger. No, can do that. I want to keep those captions, but they're actually attached to a video. Don't know how to do it that way. Yeah, there's no way. It has to attach to a video. So yes, CapCut can do it, but anyway, this program is designed for muggles, so may not play that. But yes, it can definitely do. That's cool though, because what that would mean if you were to be able to stick in basically a semi-transparent video, or maybe you only wanted to do like the talking head in a bubble, and you attached all of those graphics and captions on there, you could have those exist on the transparency, which is kind of cool. That is actually kind of cool. I wonder if I stuck in just a plain black background, if it would know to drip that black background to clear, because that's normally how it works, right? If you have black, it should key itself out. But interesting thought. Now you gave me something to do. Thanks, Thomas. I appreciate that. All right, so now we covered the animated things. We did screen share, we did text, we did clock. Let's do widgets real quick. Widgets to me is super fun skis. I use a service called Uno, overlays.uno. That's what it is. All right, so you come over here. These guys are awesome sauce. Like, I really love their overlays. So you come here, you click on overlays. These are some that I did just kind of goofing around. So I'll pick on this one right here, and I'll open it. And now I'm not shaking that I'm marketing here. All right, so you're going to get a screen that looks like this. I'm going to grab the first URL. It's the one with the 2 stacks of paper. It says copy the output URL. You can also scan the QR code. I got that. I'm going to come back over to a scene. So I'll use this scene here. I'll click on this widget overlay guy right here, this little globy globe. Pop that. All I'm going to do is double click that, paste this in here. I have it all set for what I need. I'm going to leave it on keep it running because it's just what works easy. And then I'll name it Uno, and then hit widget. And it gives a second for the internet to do its interneting. Come on, Mary. Hurry up. Oh, I know what I did. I forgot to turn things on. He's stupid. There you go. So let me put it on. I'll line this up so that it covers the whole screen because this is what I want. I'm going to 86 this clock for a second. And what I did here is I actually have on the Uno interface, actually I'll bring this over for a second. Y'all can see so it'll make more sense. And then let me unembiggen this. I make it small. So you see, I have the live bug. I turn it on and off from this interface. I can put my talking points on. Let's give it a second. Shoof, right? I can put the ticker on the bottom. Now my ticker is coming on the bottom, and then I can turn on my lower third, and then bam. So all of that is coming from there. You know what I'm saying? I love it. India, you asked me a question that's going to require me to render opinions that people are going to be mad at me for rendering because they like doing it and I don't. But let me render said opinion. Okay, so India says, what is the best widgets to use with Ecamm for super chats that you show on screen? Widgets are widgets. They don't care whether it's Ecamm or OBS or whatever else can support it. They're just widgets. They're just little web files, right? Little HTML files. Unpopular opinion. Obnoxious and disturbing. Why do people do it? Because I'm ready for the hate mail. Here it comes. You do the super chat. Welcome to the super chat. You do the super chat because you think it's going to trigger other people to be like, oh, India sent the super chat. So therefore, other people are going to send the super chat if you do the shoom, boom, super chat. I'm in the middle of having a deep conversation, and we're on the good part, and the super chat comes in. The inclination with the pop-up is to stop and recognize that as you should, because it's a sign of gratitude. If there's no pop-up, I can take a pause where it fits and say, hey, India, thank you for the $100 super chat. Really appreciate you. Whatever. It gives me an opportunity to address you then. But if I'm in the middle of having a deep philosophical conversation with Bianca about, free fonts versus paid fonts, because free fonts have horrible kerning and paid fonts, they normally think about these things and why people should learn to stop using free fonts. And then you pop in your super chat, and then I got to interrupt her like she Taylor Swift and I'm Yeezy. I got to be like, hold up, Bianca, hold up. I got to say what's up to India. But it just breaks the whole flow. It's a little bit jacked to your guests and to everybody in the audience who is in the middle of that thought, especially when you have squirrels in your audience like Glenda, where the ADD will just change the subject on her instantly. You just made her lose a very valuable point. So I think I'm not a gamer. I'm not 5 years old. And I think they're distracting. That's just me. But if you like them, knock yourself out. I like to work with, help the audience, not help myself. I help myself. I like me. I can handle myself. I like to help my audience. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm just saying. StreamYard is better than Streamlabs to me, but I just, we're grown folks, bro. I don't need to do that. And I know the only reason why you do it is Pavlovian. You figure if somebody does it, then 8 other people will do it. So your $5 super chat turns into $40 that day. I don't care about super chat money. I appreciate when people send them to me, but that's not the income stream I'm looking for. Anyway, people are gonna hate me for that because everybody like, oh, look, super chat, ding, ling, ling, ling. It's just so obnoxious. That's why I can't stand Vegas. When I go to Vegas, I can't be on the casino floor for more than 5 minutes. All of that, ling, 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 ling. It's just irritating. And all that does is designed to make the people who are not winning, is designed to make you go play more and throw more of your money into the thing. Because if Aubrey just made $8 on the slot machine, I'm probably going to make more than her. So let me go dump $50 in the slot machine trying to get the $8 that Aubrey just got. It's a whole psychological, yeah. Look up BMAT. That's what you're looking for. BMAT. If you pay attention to that, then it makes full understanding as to how people get caught up into these weird things. And the book is Hooked by Nireyal, Nireyal. If you look that up, then you'll understand how they do this and like why, Facebook has the never-ending scroll and Twitter have the never-ending scroll. Just go do some research on the fog behavioral model, and you'll understand why people do that. I know, Glenda. That's why I'm just out here telling facts. I know. It's a real thing. It's a thing. It happens to kin folks out here in these streets. All right, so let's dive into some of the extra accoutrements over here of the Ecamm thing. So let me turn off this widget. May not need that. Bam. So I'm gonna go screen share real quick. I'm going to bring this down to Ecamm Live, and I want to show comments and reactions because I stated I would show you guys why we do what we do when we do what we did, and it'll make all the sense in the world once I show you. Okay, so I'm gonna take this custom and go like this here. So now I got my comments and reaction windy. I can make this a little biggie. And about right there. All right, so the reason why Paul Duncan is like, people, if you have a question, go Q:, because that allows me to go in here and search and I can find your question. So then I can remember I can star India while I'm talking about something. Maybe I'm doing a guest thing and Kali is answering about like proper ways to, do her program, her low code or medium code, whatever you call it, program. I can store these bad boys and save them up. I'm over here pressing these stars, right? So then when I get a moment or I get to the Q&A section, like those questions were good, right? So I click on favorites and there it is. I can answer India's question. Now, normally you aren't going to see this on the screen, and please don't put your comment window on the screen. Don't be lazy. Don't put your comment window on the screen. It will get you in more trouble than it's worth. Anyway, so I can say yes, I can explain to India that question. Once it's done, I can 86 the star, and then now it's gone, right? And I can be like, boom, where'd you get that looping video from? I can say Artlist, right? Boom, cover that, right? docrock.live/artlist. Then I can boom. Does guess one operate as a variable? Yes, and then I can explain all of that. Hit that too. Oh yeah, the other thing, Kali, now that you mentioned it about the variable, remind me to hit that thought when we get to camera effects. It'll make another bit of sense. Okay, so that was a good one actually. Is that a fix with font? Boom, done with David. So I can 86 those, and when I'm done, they're all clear. I can just come back to all comments. Now, if something came up and I I remember in minute 10, Bianca had a question. I completely forgot what it was. I can go, Bianca, boom, I can bring her up, right? And then so I can find the question if she had, and then I can get back to, you know what I'm saying? So you have this search box right here, and then you also have this. The other thing it does is when a new comment comes in, you see right here on the bottom, there's a little gray area to let me know that there's a brand new comment. And there is a place to see how many people is liking the video. And then you can do something like this. 24 people watched the video. 13 people hit the like button. Number one, just rude. Number two, it's Friday. Share some kindness and pop the like button. And number three, that's all. So you'll see when somebody hits the like button, this little thing will go, a little animation will pop out. And that's just to let you know that you're nailing the points and keeping the interactivity going when you're doing it, right? So scrolling down, the new comment was just Paul saying hi. So there you go. On stage says, is this available VOD? There are 119 of them available. Maybe it's more than that. I've done well over 100 of them. But after next week, ignore all the old ones because we're going to get the whole brand new 4.0 swag coming out here. But yes, we definitely do these on replay. Hey, Mr. DJ, come on the replay. All right, boom. So that's the comments and reaction window as a whole. On stage just popped up right when I was trying to talk and it broke my face. On YouTube only, you can answer back. Right? So you can do this. Paul, I got a clock up there already. Dang it. I can see. My moderator's the bomb. My moderator's the bomb. So yes, you can answer back on YouTube. Other platforms don't really give you that option, but you can answer back on YouTube. So that part is kind of flavorful. It's flavor. All right, so let me go back to my screen, Shizzy, and then let's do this one more again. I'm gonna change this. So I don't know if you're noticing this in Ecamm, I can pick whichever window that is like, living on the edge. I can just pick that window, which is cool. Hold the option key to crop. So you can crop windows by holding the option key, pull the baby in, make it as perte as you want to. We can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. I'm gonna dance, and if they don't dance with it, no friends of mine. You can dance. All right, anyway, so here we go. How do you turn text overlays off when entering a scene? They just turn them off with the eyeball. Here, I'll show you what I mean. Give me a second. Easy peasy. So anyway, here's my musical section. All you need to know is that you can click on the little gearbox down here. You can add a hotkey to something. You can control the individual volume. And I know it's hard to see because I'm actually down here. You can adjust the individual volume. You can add the hotkey. You can even add a song to a particular scene. This way you get individual volume controls over each of your files. You can see this particular one has a hotkey. And what the heck does that do for me, Doc? Is if I take the hotkey version and then I want to hit the boom, I can just hit the hotkey.
DJ Doc Raw. DJ Doc Raw.
Right. So you can see hit the hotkey. You'll see there's a little counter on the bottom when you play stuff, right? The little counter pops up. So if I were to press play, there's a counter, tells me how much time I got. You know what I mean? So that's kind of important. Somebody is old. I mean, educated in music. So all of these are just super cool. Even like, you add a hotkey here, you can lower the volume so you can hit it with the right. And that's a simple one. Let me do this sound effects one real quick. Sorry, not that. Sound levels. Boom. And then let me get my custom. And then embiggen this. All right, cool. And once you embiggen it, there we go. So you can see I have a Rodecaster is live. All of a sudden, Rodecaster, right midstream, Rodecaster. We got our backup mic ready to go, so you don't have to worry. Just in case you had a problem, and you have your backup mic. Like, people be having their backup mic. I don't know what's wrong with them. You should have your backup mic at all times. You could even have them both going. People says, oh, well, now that we're doing this, I'm having this weird audio doubling. I don't know what's going on. If you're having audio doubling, look at this window. Look at this window. It will tell you why you're having audio doubling. Like people say, oh, my guest was on and my guest was getting audio doubling and blah, blah, blah. Look at interview. If you stop talking and they're not talking, this should be blank. If you're talking and they're not talking and this is bouncing, you are feeding back into them. Why would you feed back into them? They have a tab open trying to watch the stream while they watch the stream. And tell them don't do that. Or they have their speakers on and their speakers are feeding back into the mic. So if I'm talking and the interview thing is bouncing, the guest is effing up. So tell them to turn off their speakers, put their headphones on, close the additional tab. That's the 99.9910 times that solves the problem. I don't know why everyone has such a struggle. We got visually look at it. It tells you what's popping. Anyway, that's it. O hisashiburi da ne. 乗り返したらのエフェクトがありませんけど、これはファイナルカットでトランジションのグラフィック作ったらこれがいいです。でも別のシーンの作りで 作ったがいいかもしれません。そしてできないじゃん。We only have to ask the question once, especially when I said I'm going to tell you. So don't do that. It's just not good form. Anyway, you don't change bullet points like such. If I needed to do a bullet point oriented scene, this is not Keynote. This is a live streaming program. So in which case, this is how you do it. You would make, I'm going to turn off the background. And then I'll pick this, and then I'll do, right? So option, drag, option, drag, option, drag. I'm not going to waste time lining it up, but you get the point. All right. So you got all of these right here on the side. I would put them in order, but, it's your world. Knock yourself out. Then over here, I would take my hotkey and I would do like H. J K L. Simple. That's all. So when I'm ready, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, it's Ecamm. We make it simple. We make it. You make it hot, babe. Watch my fingers. Dang it. Man, I don't know why my camera won't stick upside down. It's making me crazy. In this particular case, I'm going to zoom and pan. I'm going to come right here. There's my keys. Watch this. Simple. It's Ecamm. It's easy. Everything in Ecamm is easy. It's just simple. La, 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 la. Oh, yes. Oh, maybe you came into the other spot. Let me make sure I put you into the... Hey, go away. I'll put you into the regular category. You get spammers out there and lots of hate mail. Hey, let's see. Angelito. There you go. I got you. Boom. Put you in primary. Bam. I don't check the spam one because I get like, do you want to get 10 million followers? No, I don't. I have Paul and Luis. That's 2 followers too many. Those 2 guys drive me batty. Anyway. Stop that. Gang, that's it. I was going to do camera effects real quick because I needed to show this to Kali. So let me do this real fast as soon as I remember where I put that scene. There it is. So in this camera effects panel right here, the thing that I wanted to show to Kali is that I could go to guest 1 and make adjustments to their camera. And so each one is a little bit different. And so that's why you want to use that variable where you put your guest on special things. Because if you put them as guest 1, guest 2, guest 4, you can make adjustments to individual cameras inside the camera effects window. And then you don't have to have the problem of fighting. Boom. You know what I mean? So people, that's it. Sorry, today is quick because we got to do affiliate training right now. So I'm going to be just hang the stream up and start the next one in like seconds. But every Friday at basically the same time we come in, next Friday will be basically the whole 4.0 walkthrough. So next Friday will probably be a long one. 4.0 is sick. Just download the beta now so you can already play, so you can already have those questions ready for next Friday, because what you see in the 4.0 beta is pretty much what's going to be in the real deal Holyfield. And we're talking like all the cool things like camera switcher, to which I can just, pop a camera on like such. I mean, it's flavorful. It's flavorful. Anyway, gang, I will see you guys on the flip skis, and I'll see you affiliates. If you're an Ecamm affiliate, I'll see you in 2 seconds.
Straight out of Ecamm. This is a jam with the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam. This is a jam with the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam. This is a jam with the Ecamm fam. This is a jam with the Ecamm fam. This is a jam with the Ecamm fam.